guy keeps bringing them back, and he told Brian that he's been bringing all these people in to train them because Brian opens the door to let them in.
Because he's one of the few people that will have a conversation with them.
Yeah, and so like he brings them in to like train on Brian, and I'm just like, what is happening? I'm like, don't open the door.
What did I walk into?
Again.
What happened?
We're talking about Mormon missionaries, yo.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
Because Brian always opens the door for them and lets them in and like talks to them and like.
Does he make them lemonade
water.
and stuff? Yeah,
Well, not
nice.
lemonade, but like gives them water and like asks them questions. Like he just gets into it, and then I guess the guy like was basically bringing in all these like newbie people.
You know, I was
like,
oh
my
really
God,
close to
Like, this is the
going
shit you have to deal with. Let's just band-aid this, you know?
I was
What was
really
that
close
there?
to going on my own Mormon mission, you know. I was
yeah?
that close, and then I decided to go a different route with my life.
Hey,
Oh,
man.
Almost
were you,
me.
Teach
were you
their own.
joking, or are you being serious?
No, I'm serious. I
Oh,
used
wow.
to be Mormon. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was a very quick adjustment in the teenage years that prevented it from happening. But I nearly went that route in life. That would have been
I just think it's funny that like they kept bringing in all like the new people to come
Yeah, that
like,
is hilarious.
like ask Brian questions.
It doesn't surprise me. I know that like, I had a lot of friends that did that, and they got a lot of doors shut in their faces.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Or
I'm
just
sure.
not opened. You see the
Yes,
you see the
yeah.
curtains go like.
like peek.
Nobody's here. Leave a message after the beep.
Yeah.
Beep.
Yeah.
Well, we're back.
It's always good stuff. Well, you don't want to continue this religious conversation, Mathis?
I mean, if you want to turn this into
Well, you don't want to turn this into like Christian con, you know?
Christian
like, no?
con. There's got to be a there's
Yeah,
got to be a
probably
Christian con.
Christ
oh,
con.
Yeah, I'm sure.
ChristCon.
ChristCon 2017. We have got to go.
Yeah, oh god, that'd be so much fun.
That's
You know,
right.
you've been to those like those teenage group thingies like summer camps. And
Oh
whatnot.
yeah, we did like a
Yeah.
retreat in high school.
Yeah,
and all this
retreats. That's
stuff.
right. That's right. I used to do a bunch of those.
We
oh
did,
man,
Yeah, we did
they were
camps.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were fun. Super fun. But
Let's do it.
all right, let's get back to D&D. So,
We can't be religious right now. I'm in the middle of wedding panties, if you recall.
It's true.
Oh goodness.
oh jeez. Okay. Wow. I was like, all right. So, and there you go. You finish it, and everybody is amazed by the performance. This is literally the best performance you've ever given. If you had plans to end now, fuck it. This is an intermission for you. You're literally just gonna take a bit, get a drink, relax, mingle, and then get back on stage because you need to finish this performance. You've never been this good in your life, right?
Mhm.
So you need to stay on fire. You can just feel it. Your voice is not even starting to feel any bit of the strain from all the stuff that you've been doing. Your fingers, none of the pain. There's no bleeding or swelling or anything happening. Everything's perfect. So you are good to go. It's now an intermission, and everybody is so wooed by you at the moment. So, Bear, please take it away. For the record, your three friends are in the room, as you can see all around you.
Yes,
Rye may be feeling a little uncomfortable standing or sitting at the moment, but otherwise,
Oh, gross.
Otherwise, good.
Listen, if you see Thonk and he looks like he's having a good time, the illusion is broken. It's done. You know you're in a fake world.
You don't see Thonk, you're a little distracted.
Yeah.
You're a little distracted by the wave of women in front of you.
Yeah. So Otto, upon finishing the song, just stands there sort of basking in it for a moment, smiling and encouraging his audience a little bit, takes a bow, and then steps down off stage, sort of allowing himself to wade through the crowd of wooed women as they adorn him with, "Oh, Otto, you're so sexy! Oh, Otto, play that song again!" It's just lovely as he makes his way through the dresses, because he's a little lower. Gets to the end and gets to the bar, asks for a drink, which I assume is on the house tonight.
Of course, and they most certainly do. They actually pour you a nice drink and slide the mug over to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, friggin'! I can visualize this moment because that bartender's far away, and you put the camera on the mug as it slides down. There's all these faces just adoring Otto as you see the mug slide on the rail. I catch it so smoothly. Take a big old glug.
It is some of the
Slam it
most
down.
delicious water you've ever tasted.
Oh. I slam it down, and as I swallow it, as it hits my lips and I swallow it, I think, look to the bartender, a little light on the supply tonight.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Was that not to your liking? Want something a little stronger?
Oh, if you have it, I would certainly not.
This is of course of the bartenders. It's the we'll say the attractive one of the two bartenders that are over there. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just thought you were trying to save your voice for later on. Please let me get something a little bit more aggressive for you."
Mm-hmm.
And she goes over and she fills up a different mug and she puts it on the table on the bar again and she slides it over almost exactly the same as she did before.
Mm-hmm. Same catch, same swig, same result.
Absolutely, it is some of the most delicious orange juice you've ever had.
I smack my lips a little bit. Seems we're having a bit of a miscommunication. Do you have any ale?
Ale? Yes, I most certainly do. Oh, I'm so sorry, Otto. I'm just so nervous that you're over here talking to me right now. Let me get you what you wanted. And she goes over and she fills up another mug and she takes it and she slides it over. Almost exactly the same way she did the first time.
Same catch. Look this time. What do I see?
You do see a fuzzy beverage that's there.
Stare at it for a second. Look back at her. Look back. Take a swig.
It's ginger beer.
Ginger ale, nice.
Which is a different type of ginger ale or carbonated sweet beverage.
It could be like a Moscow Mule, you know.
Yeah.
Those are delicious.
I put it back on the counter. Look over at her. I just look around, and I'm looking at all the other drinks of all the other patrons. What do I see?
I mean, they're all just very much enjoying their drinks.
Mm-hmm. I see
Grauman's over
Grauman
there
and
chugging.
yeah, and I
giant
see
mug.
Grauman and Thonk in the corner.
I mean, Grauman's looking tipsy. Grauman is
Going to like do a little cheers with Thonk.
Thonk's like drinking the blood of an innocent nearby. This is Otto's fantasy. I just imagine like the worst. No, I cheers you with whatever water I have or whatever.
I make my way over to their table.
Sure.
Rye catches you as you're walking up.
Yes.
She kind of throws an arm around your shoulder, and she gives you a squeeze. And she's like, "You've been holding out on us. That was amazing."
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah. She like swigs ale.
Yeah, Grauman like puts his mug out and like clanks yours, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so good. That was best."
I'm glad you guys. Thanks. Wow. I haven't heard such praise from you. I'm a little infatuated with Rye's enthusiasm for my performance. What was your favorite? What was your favorite song?
All of it. It was incredible.
Wow. And I forget about the drinks until Grauman clanks my glass again, and then I remember. Grauman, let me have a look at your drink.
Grauman like looks at you, looks at his drink. Why?
Just let me see. I go to grab it.
Yeah.
He like shows you, and then Grauman like grabs your mug to look in yours.
Mm-hmm. And I pull it to my lips and I take a little taste.
I mean, Grauman has some. I mean, he wasn't looking to spend a bunch of money tonight. I mean, he didn't expect this big of a performance. So, I mean, Grauman kind of went a bit cheaper, and so he has like lower quality water, but it's still pretty decent.
It's not a fantasy, it's a nightmare.
I taste it and I say, this is water?
It's so good, right? And he like takes it and he chugs like the whole thing and he puts it back down.
Yeah. Great. A change of diet then.
Change in diet? What are you talking about?
I mean, you're usually a little more prone to the drink, my friend, aren't you?
I drink, and he takes your mug and drinks it all.
I look over at Thonk. Non-alcoholic, huh?
I don't drink.
Fair enough. It doesn't question that. I'm so confused. Grauman, does this bar serve alcohol?
Grumman like thinks about it. Has the bar ever served him alcohol?
I mean, you thinking about it for a minute? I mean, what is alcohol?
Okay. I put my arm around Thonk and I'm like, what is alcohol? And he looks at Thonk.
Thonk just shakes his head, and then he takes a deep breath, and he kind of like gestures to all the women, like now clearly in like this direction, and they've been waiting for a song for a long time. Otto, I don't want to kill anyone. Go play some goddamn music. They're looking at us.
Oh, I like when they look at me. Grumman like kind of flexes a little bit.
I'm completely baffled by Grauman's response of what is alcohol, and I'm just staring at him. And then I hear Thonk say that. I snap out of it for a minute and turn around, and what do I see?
You actually, so looking across, you actually see that the group of people are all gathering around you. It's kind of like really up close.
Yeah.
And they're like super excited to to like be over near you, have an opportunity to chat with you. I mean, even walking your way over to your friends, Rye even caught you before you got there and was kind of like, hey, you know, everybody else is trying to do so. Otto's just really quick at moving and getting out of the way. Rye just knew where to grab because she's known him for so well for so long, and she's quick. So
yeah, she knew where to grab. Hew, 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 hew.
Wow. So
There's a reason nobody writes fanfic of us, because we do it to ourselves.
yeah, we just do it ourselves. Exactly. Oh man. All right. So but they're all like looking for their own opportunity to have a conversation with you, and it's not like you have to get back on stage right now. So if you wanted to chat with any of them, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, let me go. I'm just gonna go up to the closest one I see, and
Sure. The closest one might be the closest by like an inch or two, but it's not like there's a big distance between her and the next one.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have to go very far either. Your friends are still
And they're like, oh
right
my
there.
gosh, he's turning around.
I just say to her, "Are you enjoying the performance?"
Oh my God, it's so amazing. Oh, your voice, and you just had me laughing and crying and oh, so happy and so sad and all these emotions I just can't process.
Oh, wow, thank you. And you're enjoying it as well?
You've revolutionized my way of thinking. My whole life has been altered.
And perhaps you have a third entirely distinct opinion on the matter.
Sorry, you're making me laugh. So you say that to the third one. She's like, I hope you don't mind, but I've actually decided to start a new religion, and the basis of it is going to be your music.
Wow, thank you. That's awfully flattering. Pardon me. I turn around. I look at Thonk and Grauman again, and I go to look for Rye. And do I see her?
Yeah,
She's
Rye's-
standing right there.
Yeah, Russ sat next to you.
Standing right next to me. So I turn around, shocked a little bit to see Rye is like directly adjacent to me, very close, unusually close, in fact.
You're right.
Uh,
I know what's wrong. Rye turns around and she cocks her hands and she yells into the crowd, "Get this man a drink!"
And then Grauman like stands up and like
There's a
kind
little
of
bit of
points to
wooing
one
that
of the
happens. Yep.
points to one of like the barmaids.
Okay.
as you say that, and the crowd begins to uproar, I say, I've been trying to get one.
Nobody seems to respond to it. Just kind of like, yeah. And
Oh,
so
they bring one to you.
like 6 drinks come your way, and all like one's in a nice large wooden mug, one's in a nice stone stein, one's in a wonderful looking wine glass, one of them's inside like a shorter, more stout glass. There's a couple more mugs. Different drinks come your way, and they're all put in front of you. And I mean, taste them if you like, sniff them if you like. They're all very, very good qualities of water.
Otto, the crowd is in a bit of a tizzy now behind me, I'd imagine, and Otto approaches the first one, again reassured that this will be a familiar taste, and goes to down it. It's water, son of a bitch. Otto's angry now. Otto slams it down. He says, "This is water. Are you all having water?"
And when you say that, people are like, yeah, and like they hold their mugs up together.
Grauman's like, water! And
Guys
like,
like clapping and
Otto,
whooping.
Otto.
It's what? And Otto
Chug,
just
chug,
he
chug,
s- he
chug,
slaps
chug.
one of the mugs off the. It's water. Why? And
They all just seem like when you ask that, it's once again people are just thinking like you're instigating like a cheer, and they're like, yeah, again, just really happy with it.
I
And
turn to
Grauman's
Grauman.
just yelling, chug, 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 chug.
What is Grauman? You like beer?
What beer? Chug, 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 chug.
Grauman. Rawr.
Rawr.
Oh, bear.
Yeah,
He meant
you like
bear.
Either that or you like being naked. It's one of those
Oh,
two.
bear. Oh, yeah, he's like, chug, chug. And then he's like, oh, you mean bear? Like, rah.
No, not
Oh, yeah,
beer.
I like bear. Bear, bear, bear,
Ew.
bear.
And then people start cheering
no.
because he's so loud. People start cheering, bear, 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 bear. And then one person who happens to be in the crowd and is wearing like a cloak made out of bear skin gets up on a table, and they're like dancing up on the table and spinning around and have a bear skin out there and whatnot. And it actually inspires a few other people to like go up there with them. And so now there's like 3 girls dancing on a
Grauman's
table.
gonna pick
like, dancing
Otto
for the
up
bear
and
skin.
put Otto on top of the table that they're on.
Okay. Well, Otto's surrounded by 3 ladies with a bear skin dancing on a table. I don't know if he's dancing or not, but they are.
Otto is now infuriated. He just starts jumping up and down on the table. This doesn't make any sense.
People are just kind of like, so as Otto's doing this, it's like a few people start to realize that Otto's like not like instigating, like being like, "Hoorah!" or whatever. Like it kind of like simmers down a little bit. A few others are cheering, but it's not quite as loud now. Otto, you notice that you kind of have their attention, though Grauman is definitely still confused. Rye is probably a bit concerned, and Thonk is just kind of like slitting his wrist with his emover.
What wrong?
Here,
Otto?
no, the tell for Thonk is he hasn't left. And that is weird.
Also, what you said earlier, you're like, I don't want to kill anyone.
That too.
Yeah, which is yeah.
Nice.
That's good.
Subtle little things there. I like it. I can't figure it out. And I've lost my will to perform now because this scene does not make sense. These people are supposed to be drunk and merry, not needing to go to the bathroom really badly. This is not a typical bar scene. So I get down off the table. I'm looking around at them dumbfounded, and I just say, all right, water for everybody. Fuck it. Here we go. And I signal to the bartender, water all around. And I get up and I just make my way back up to the stage. I start walking up there.
Absolutely. When you get back to the stage, you have, of course, your glass sitting
I like
next
to
you.
imagine that he's like crowd surfing to the stage.
Sure, they pick him up. Yeah, great, Maggie, it's a great addition. Thank you. They pick him up and he's like, back to the stage then. And they pick him up and they carry him back over to the stage. And
The most confused crowd surfer you've ever seen.
and the ladies that are helping your light little self over there do get a little handsy on the way. But eventually you find your way back up to the stage.
Swatting them
And-
away from us center points. Yeah.
So when you're standing up there and you're finally reaching down for whatever instrument you intend to use next, you look down at the stool and you see your drink is sitting there, and it's great because it's a nice foaming beer sitting right there at the bar stool. And as you reach down to get your instrument, as you notice it,
I see a foaming beer on my bar stool.
Mhm.
I approach it.
Yep.
I pick it up.
Yeah.
I inspect it. It looks like a foaming beer.
Yeah.
I look over at the crowd. I
Everybody's
hold it
holding up their
to
mugs to you. Yeah. Like,
them. Drink with me.
woo!
I take a sip.
Mm-hmm.
What does it taste like?
Oh my God. It tastes like beer and it is delicious. It is really good. And as you take a sip from that beer, Otto, as you take a sip from that, kind of like you lose sight of things for a second because, you're looking down the mug and looking into it or whatever to see what's, trying to enjoy it. My apologies. So So as you're looking into that mug and looking down the barrel of the mug, swinging it, drinking the thing down, whatever it is that you're doing, you finally look back up. Oh, my apologies. I keep pressing Option and not Command on my computer. So all of a sudden you look back up and you look across the room and you see something very, very different out there. It's a large something. It's I mean, you have no idea what it is. A disc, maybe? A mirror? You honestly don't know what that is. You've never seen it before. Roll me a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So with your perception check, you're looking across the room. Again, as I said, it looks like a disc. It might be some sort of mirror or something like that. It looks strange. It doesn't. I don't know. It just catches you off guard. Nobody else seems to notice it.
Mm-hmm. I finish my sip, pleasantly surprised, still confused, and then look back out to the crowd again, and I see this thing. So again, that dumbfounded look dawns on me as I'm just staring out. What is that? What is that? I start to say it to myself and then ask again to the crowd. What is that thing?
People turn around and they look back, and they're looking back across the way, and they see the bartender there, and they're all like, "It's Gwen!"
No, not her. You don't see the blue disc.
That's Frank! Pointing over at the orcish bartender that's there, who kind of looks up and is like, "Oh, hi."
What version of blue is him? This thing, the giant. You don't see it.
Rye is right at the front of the crowd. She's like pushed away to the front, and she's like in a fit of laughter, and she's like, "What did you drink?" Oh my god.
So by looking at this, they all look genuinely baffled. Aside from Rye, who's near the front and laughing or whatever the case, and Sam, please feel free to roleplay. Everybody looks genuinely baffled, kind of like looking around, like, what is he talking about? What is going on? Like they think it's part of the show, but they're at loss.
Otto is transfixed on this. He gets down off the stage and starts to walk toward it. You don't see. What is this thing?
Rye's doubled over at this point. You like walk past her and she like can't. She's like, I'm gonna wet myself.
I just step over her because I can't take my eyes off it. How? What is this?
So you walk over towards it. Like I said, it looks like a large floating disc or something. It's very reflective. It feels out of place. For some reason, it feels out of place. You're not sure what it is. Make me a perception check as you're looking into it.
Grauman's gonna like look over at Thonk and be like, maybe he find more shrooms?
As you
Thonk leans over and
looking
goes,
at it-
"I'm worried he's been poisoned."
Oh no.
As you guys are looking over there, so as you're looking into it, you see it almost looks like something shadowy moving within it, but you can't quite tell. It's something's moving within there, but you can't quite tell what it is. It's just everything seems out of place and nobody else seems to note it.
Otto is entirely convinced now that this is not all what it appears to be. This is the final straw. He's approached this thing very clearly, sees something within it, and no one else is reacting. Rye is laughing at it, which is completely uncharacteristic of her. Thok and Grauman are still just sitting in the corner as though my concerns are mean nothing to them. They would probably have reacted if I were being this serious. So I'd say at this point, I know something's amiss, and I trying to figure out what. But I know that it's probably got something to do with this thing I see now that wasn't here before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to, let's see. I want to go talk to Thonk. I want to go back over to this table.
Sure.
And I want to give, this is my last Turing test on this place before I make my call here. I want to say to Thonk, do you see that?
I look. I'm assuming I see nothing. I see a crowd of rabid people eager for your song, and it's irritating me that you haven't lulled them yet.
Otto, you need more drink.
Has someone
Drink
poisoned
this.
your drink, Otto?
I just turn around. I look out at the crowd again. This isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't... What is this? I start to walk.
Okay.
What's up?
Everything just went whoof and blew up and on screen.
Suctioned
Oh,
into the center.
I didn't see it.
Oh, that's fine. So there was a huge explosion of blue pulse energy, and you literally, as you're kind of like looking around, looking confused, there's a huge explosion of blue pulse of energy, and literally everything in the room, in almost a flash, got sucked into this this sphere, just get completely sucked into it all at once, and it's still standing there floating and in silence. And you're looking around, and there's nobody in this room. There's nobody here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks as though maybe people were here in some point in time or something, but it's just there's nobody here anymore. It's just they're gone.
So I'm in the room that I was in before? Or am I in just sort of like a void space with this thing?
You were still in the same exact room you were before. It's just there's nobody in it with you.
Okay. I just stand aghast for a minute. I don't say anything. I look behind me. I assume I don't see Thonk or Grommen there.
No, you don't. What you do see is this place looks familiar to you, and you don't know why. It's almost like being here in this inn feels like deja vu. Like you know this place. You don't know how, but you know this place from, I don't know, something. You're not sure what it is, but from something.
I turn around and I don't see them, but I do start to feel that little tingling of familiarity. I keep looking around. It does look more or less like an inn I've been in before. As I start to walk closer to the disc, I mumble to myself, "So familiar." I'm getting closer and closer, and I finally get up to it again, and I just stare into it one more time, looking for that shadow I saw before. Do I see it again?
There's still a moving shadow inside there. It's still moving about. And before we go any further, Sam, this is a super meta question, and I do apologize for that.
Okay.
When you had stepped out and you're inside that room and you noticed both Otto and Grommen in there, both of them were looking strange. They were looking bizarre. They were moving around strangely, and you don't know why. Like, you know that you're out of place. You almost feel like you're both drunk and hungover at the same time, stepping out into this world. So you're really woozy and dizzy. Your equilibrium's completely thrown off, but you can still perceive the world around you, even if somewhat in tunnel vision. And you see the two of them are kind of like, "Oh, hi."
They're kind of like wandering around and mumbling.
Yeah. But you were in the room with them, just the three of you. The door is shut. Something familiar with this place. Which of them would you approach first?
Otto.
You would go to Otto first, which usually makes sense because the kind of situation it is. So that being said, both Otto and Rye, both of you guys make me a will save. Same time. Go ahead. No advantage or disadvantage or anything.
Okay. Is that a or no? Sorry. It is wisdom save, right?
Correct.
Wisdom save. Okay.
So as you perceive through, Rye, you go over to Otto and you kind of like, how do you approach it? How do you try to get his attention? What do you do?
I think, right, she waves in front of his face and she like touches his shoulder and he's just completely non-responsive. And then she tries to use message and she tries to reach his mind and see if there's any response.
Okay. So with your initial thing, his DC would definitely not have done that. But Sam, you are a smart individual, and with your message and that DC that he beats, you actually do get through. What is that? I believe it's like 25 words or less or some crap.
Yeah.
Feel free to cast your message spell. It's a whispered thing to him, and he can whisper back.
Rye just says, "Hello, it's not real. Can you hear me?"
Where are we chronologically with this?
Exactly with you standing back in front of the disc, as you had just said, seeing the shadow again. Before you noticed the shadow before, but now you're like, you see the shadow again, and you hear that.
Okay. I hear this. Wheels begin to turn in my head. I start to can I remember it all where I was before I got to this place right now, or am I a little distorted there still?
Still distorted there.
Okay, so I'm struggling to try to figure out where exactly I am. And I message Rye back, not exactly aware of my limitations in doing so, but I begin to message Rye back and I say, "Where am I? Gromman, Thunk, and you were here too. I'm in a bar?"
It's not me. Try the doors. Find a way out.
What's our limit on message?
Every time she casts it, which she can just spam it, she can do like 25 words, and then you can respond 25 words. So the only limitation here is either A, Sam says I stop casting the spell, or B, you have to wait till she responds again before you can respond again.
I see. Okay. I look around again. Do I see any doors or exit or anything that looks like it could even be opened up?
Yeah, you have actually down in this area over here, you have that door that you can go through.
Okay. I'm going to head straight for that door.
Okay. So you head for the door, and you're standing in front of it, and you go to push it open. And when you push it open, all you see on the other side is the same exact inn that you're in right now, but it's full of all those people. And they're cheering. Otto, they're cheering for you.
I slam the door shut.
Come on. No, wait.
shut,
And they're like
slam.
rushing at you. Rye is leading the charge.
Like in terror, I slam it shut. Like, no. I do that, and I look around again. Do I see any other door, any other exit?
Yeah, looking around, you see that you can actually go behind the bar. So heading up that way and going through, like, say, one of these exits. Should you go left or right first? Doesn't matter.
Let's go left.
Okay. So going around this way, you can see that there is, in fact, a back door over here, as well as a couple of little side doors. I don't have any dynamic lighting blocking off those rooms.
Okay.
But you go to the back door first.
Yeah, open up the back door.
So you open up the back door, and this whole room is empty. Everything's empty. And you open up the back door, you can actually see you're staring back into the same kitchen that you're standing in, but all the cooks are standing there, and they're cheering you on. Otto! Hey!
Even faster than the last one. Slammed it shut.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you go to check out the other rooms, top or bottom first.
Let's go bottom first.
Okay, you go walking into this room. You see that there's a stairwell going downstairs, and there's also a door heading back out to the bar.
Let me take the stairwell.
Sure. So you make your way down the stairs, Otto. So you make your way down the stairs, and it brings you into, again, just a very, very familiar looking stairwell. Everybody, please hold on just one moment for me while I change something that I'll eventually have to change back later on. And bam. Okay, and pull attention here. Okay, so you make your way down the stairs. Again, the stairwell just seems familiar to you. You don't know why, but something seems familiar about this place. From long ago, but yet never done. You don't know why. Go ahead.
I am much more cautious in my approach toward these supposed exits now. I'm going to go ahead and mostly tiptoe my way down the staircase and then peek around the corner here to see what I can see.
Sure. And when you do that, when you peek around the corner to see what you can see, what you see inside there is this strange area of energy, of something there. It's crackling with some type of energy, some type of magic, but at the same time, you also see shadows are kind of like weaving through it. And oh man, this is very, very, I don't know, it's bizarre, it's familiar, but it's different. It's pulling to you. As a matter of fact, you hear Rye's voice coming stronger from there than it was anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna message me, huh? Okay. I think I would approach it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and approach it.
Okay. So you approach it and you're standing right.
Cautious.
Yep. You're standing right before it.
What do I see when I look at it? What is the form of this thing?
It is a crackling energies weaving and moving through the air. It's so hard to understand what it is. It just looks like magical energy in shadow. You can make me a perception check real quick.
Sure. Do.
Sadly, with that perception, I can give you nothing else.
Okay.
Sam,
Okay.
you can see that his eyes are open now, and he's looking at Rye. He is looking at Rye, like in Rye's face, but seeing through her. Like, even though it's kind of like, I'm clearly not staring at you, I'm staring directly through you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and you see that he's doing this, and he almost seems like he's awake, like that grogginess, like you're having a conversation with, significant other, a friend, whatever it is, and they're almost awake. Like, you know that you're talking to them, you know that they hear you and they're responding, but they're not quite awake yet, and they might not remember this conversation.
As I approach this thing, I start to say slowly, Rye? Does that create any additional effects? Maybe?
So he literally says Rye.
Yeah.
And again, it's confusing. Roll me a insight check, please, Rye, but with advantage.
Now, you're saying that Otto, standing in his trance, also said it?
So you can see that Otto also said that, and he definitely said it talking to you. Like, you can tell he's talking to you, but he's still not, even though he's looking in your eyes, he's not looking in your eyes. He's looking at you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I grabs his face, she cups his face either side, and she messages him again, and she's like, I'm right in front of you, Otto. I'm right here.
You can roll me another perception check, please, Bear.
Yep. Oh God.
Sadly, that doesn't help you, but you heard what you heard.
All right. I say back, I think I found you, but I'm not sure. Are you can you see me?
There's no response.
I get closer and attempt to touch this energy.
He reaches forward and touches Rye on the side or stomach or whatever the case would be. Like, he literally reaches forward and touches Rye on her belly. Once again, he doesn't seem to be staring. He's staring at her, not to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how many different ways I can phrase that.
Can I grab Otto and just yank him forward?
So you grab Otto and you literally try to physically yank him forward.
Yeah, I just want to
kind of take a step backwards and pull him.
Yeah, just
sure.
Hand is on Rye's abdomen. She just grabs his wrist and just yanks him forward.
These tentacles of energy in front of you, Otto, are whipping out and grabbing at you and trying to drag you forward. And instinctively, you're fighting back, and you have enough power in your little stubby legs to hold back well enough. But it is not easy. It is becoming increasingly difficult. You can roll me one last perception check, but this time with advantage.
Okay.
You sadly can't see anything that's assisting. This thing is trying to pull you into it, and it sounds like Rye, but it certainly doesn't look like her.
Rye, can you hear me? Stop it!
Rye tries to tug him.
Okay. So the same thing continues.
Yeah, and do I wrestle free at any point? And maybe check for that.
If you choose to, you can absolutely wrestle free.
All right, I'm gonna wrestle free of the clutches of the energy, and I'm just gonna start shouting at it. What are you doing? How do I get out of here? And I don't get any response. So I'm so frustrated, and I look around. I don't see anything else in this room. I imagine that will help me out.
This room, again, it has a strange sense of familiarity, something from a dream. I don't know. It reminds you of something, a place of shadows, or of it's so long ago, yet something that never happens, and it's hard to remember what never happened. And so you're just kind of like you're in this like strange sense or lost state.
I'm out of ideas.
Nope, no problem. And so you stand there dumbfounded for a while. Rye, Otto doesn't seem to be responding. No matter how many times you tried, you thought you had him. You thought you did. But he doesn't seem to be responding. You're still standing in the room with Gromit. You can keep trying with Otto if you want to try something different, but your current method is not working.
Yeah, right. She's getting exhausted from all the messages, and she tried to pull him forward, and he resisted and backed off, and then he hasn't moved since. And she doesn't know what to do. I think she kind of like backs away, leans against the wall for a second. She's trying to like, she feels drunk and hazy, and she's trying to like make sure she stays awake too, so she doesn't want to overexert herself. What does it look like when Ra looks at Gromit?
Gromit is laughing a little bit, and then he's kind of walks off to the side, and he's having a conversation with somebody. The conversation actually very quickly goes sour. You think Gromit just killed some people. And then he's laughing and joking again. And then right around now, as you're focusing on Gromit again, you can see that he's getting really agitated, like really agitated. He just punched somebody. He's getting agitated again.
Okay.
And this isn't the first time Gromit's done this. He's kind of like in a loop.
Right. Okay.
Oh my God, just sorry.
Right? She's kind of just like, fuck him. And she just slaps Otto across the face.
That's the way to work out the frustrations.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, make me a strength check.
Wow, that's a strong slap.
Okay. Otto, make me a perception check, please, with advantage.
Sure.
That was
Okay.
supposed to be the end of your perception checks, but Sam decided to get a little physical.
Hey!
All of a sudden, you see bursting through the magical energies a hand comprised completely of shadow, though small, dainty, and thin. Comprised completely of shadow, reach through and just smash you in the side of the face as hard as you can. Oh my God, it hurt. Like, oh, but it does not, like, it. You come to your senses. You realize exactly whose arm that was.
Rye! Ow! Oh, what? How? Oh, God. How did you get to me? And he gets closer again to the energy. He's just desperately, like, reaching into it now at this point. Like, where are you?
Rye reaches out, and so her hands touch his
Tentacles
hands.
grab at you again
Yeah.
Mhm.
and start pulling you closer.
I resisted at first and then sort of just let it happen.
Okay. And finally, when you get pulled into the tentacles and the energies or whatever, giving in, believing that this is probably what you're supposed to do, in doing so, you actually kind of get pulled through this like strange stomach twisting feeling. And when you come to, you're standing there and Rye's holding you. And there's a burning sensation, stinging sensation on the side of your face. And Rye's holding you. She doesn't look very good at the moment, but she can't feel any worse than you do right now.
Mm-hmm.
And tunnel vision, drunk and hungover at the same time. Sure, these are your friends, but this is a strange sensation.
I come to a little bit, back off instinctively, sort of jerk myself to composure, and then the nausea hits me. Oh, God. Ow.
Rye's on her knees. You can see that. You can tell that she was hugging you when you woke up, and you back away, and she's like, "Ah, my bad. I'm so sorry."
No, why'd you have to hit me?
Well, nothing else was working. I didn't know what to do.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know.
I'm just looking around. What room are we in now?
So you are standing inside some strange stone room you've never been in before, and inside this like stone room, you see that you and Rye are standing there, both looking like crap. But Gromit looks perfectly fine, having a conversation with. Oh, he just swung his axe at somebody. Maybe he's practicing. No, he's yelling at somebody right now. Okay, Gromit is being weird.
Is that Gromit? Gromit, what are you doing?
Rye puts her hand on Addo's shoulder, and she's like, "He won't wake up. He's in some kind of illusion like we were."
Wasn't it an illusion?
Yeah.
What? Otto is completely dumbfounded still.
Groundhog Day begins again. For Gromit wakes up laughing at a table.
Well, like, that's the thing though, is that now I'm so skeptical of everything around me. I begin to suspect that I'm actually in like, you know, you wake up from the dream only to realize you're still in the dream thing, right? So now I'm thinking, oh shit.
Except for Gromit doesn't remember that he was in the dream.
Oh man, the curse of eternal waking. If you ever read the Sandman series, oh shit. But anyways, go ahead.
I begin to look like quizzically at Rye.
Quick, ask her if alcohol's real.
Yeah. I was actually wondering if I could get that back in. Are you sure we're not still in an illusion?
That would be fucked up.
I know. Wait. Well,
when he says that to you and you give that response, Rye, you immediately
Do you feel that?
you immediately hear in your head, Rye, no, you did it.
I'm receiving word that we are not in an illusion.
What from the desk?
No, just trust me. I think we're fine. We have to figure out how to get him out.
I walk up to Gromit. Hey, buddy. You there?
Rye yanks Addo back as Gromit like swings his arm and nearly knocks Addo out.
Whoa!
So it's funny. And then like shortly after that, afterwards, like a couple seconds later, all of a sudden Gromit turns back and looks at Otto and is like, Otto, you funny.
Gromit!
He can't see us.
Oh, shit.
We have to figure out what kind of illusion he's in.
Well, you smack me in the face, right? That'll work for him.
I don't think so.
Let's try it.
Look at the size of him.
Look, well, no, we'll just hang on. Over there's a table over there.
Kick him in the dick. Chat. That's a chat. That's a chat.
Chat's been saying it for like ever.
Just kick him in the dick.
Is there like a table or a chair or something I can pull over toward Gromit?
The room's naked.
Room's naked.
As naked as Gromit saw you.
Oh shit. Okay, nothing around. Yeah, that might be an issue.
Rye looks up at Gromit. She's like, "Let's just wait a minute."
Let's put his hands in water.
There's no water. There's no basins.
Or we could just wait, I guess.
So you wait and you see Gromit finish, so like getting very frustrated, very confused, yelling at somebody, and then walks over to a door and opens the door. Like you can see him opening the door and walks through it, and then all of a sudden kind of like stumbles backwards, seeming kind of drunk or whatever, and it seems like he's standing there like drunk and like hazy, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, hey guys, oh, ha ha ha," and starts to loop all over again.
Yeah, so I'm like sitting at the table and I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so Maggie, as Gromit is going through that, and you guys are watching this progress, I'm going to choose like a point. This is at the point in time where Gromit is going and approaching the three gentlemen sitting at the bar. One of them potentially having stolen something.
Hey, give him money. You know, pay full.
Either of you guys do anything?
No, I'm sorry.
Raya's like pointing at Otto and pointing around. She's like, "I've seen this twice now. This is the part where he fights with the people at the bar."
Wait, sorry. I can see this from the room we're in?
You don't see everything. You just see kind of Grommen like saying things to
We're
nothing.
basically seeing
Imagine,
Grommen, like,
imagine you walked into a room, like you went to your friend's house, and you kind of like let yourself in the door, and you walk into the living room, and he's playing a VR game standing up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in the VR world. You're watching your buddy look foolish standing around with some stupid headset on, right?
I got
There you go.
So I'm kind of like doing a half circle around Grommen, just sort of inspecting him. What's he's in a loop?
As you're doing the half circle, Rai, who is got a good memory and isn't foolish, kind of grows over and grabs you and pulls you out of the way quickly again as Grommen does another one of his big aggressive motions and almost hits you with the axe.
He clearly isn't in a very good place, is he?
Grumman like knocks out all three of them, puts the change on the table, looks back, and now they're rats again.
Mm-hmm. And starts doing like.
I'm gonna do. Oh my god! I keep rolling terrible.
Back through the loop you
and
go.
I still think they're rats, and I'm carrying the rats around, and then I'm like. That's what you see. You see like him holding his hand up, and he's looking around.
Ryan nods to Adam, and she's like, "There's certain windows where he's not aggressive, and I guess we can try and slap him then."
I mean, do you have a better idea?
No.
All right. Let's study him for a moment. Wait to see when the right move is.
So as you guys are studying him, could you make me an insight check, both of you? No advantage, disadvantage, anything like that.
Oh shit! Sorry.
What did I just say to you, Bear?
Sorry, man.
So Rai, who's probably still, I guess, a little affected by the illusion, she didn't have somebody help her pull out. She had to do it on her own, if it's an illusion. You Otto are watching this, more familiar with this kind of stuff. You're watching and you see that Rai's right. There are windows where he's not aggressive or is happy, with the case may be. But more than that, there's moments where he seems to be not fully immersed. Like the immersion of this theater, whatever it is kind of like very shallow.
And it's happening right now as I sit down at the table.
Sit down at the table and he's like, "I don't want to tell story. Every time I tell story to a girl, when she asks, I don't do anything else." And you can see that clearly he's having a conversation with somebody that wants him to tell a story, and he's being very reluctant. And he's getting mad at somebody else that keeps laughing. The person's name, who they are, that all eludes you. You can't hear it. Grommen never repeats it.
Okay.
I notice these lapses of the illusory state in Grommen's face, and I say to Rai, wait, he almost looks like he's snapping out of it. Grommen?
Grommen doesn't snap out of it. As a matter of fact, if a little bit of time passes, all of a sudden he kind of like tumbles back in and is fully immersed again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, But did you see that?
Ryan nods and she looks at him. She's like, "He never tells the story. What if we help him tell the story?"
Yeah, what's the story?
It doesn't matter.
You're right. We can tell any story.
Exactly.
After a little bit of talking, you see that he's starting to come into one of those states where he's almost like he's close, but he's not quite there. But this isn't the same way as it was before, where he was like just the immersion is light, but he's still like kind of going along with whatever's in his head. This time the immersion's light, but he's also very aggressive and seems to be actively fighting against what's going on with him. But as Otto's kind of like realizing this just by reading Grommen, Rai can make notes or say out loud, whatever the case may be, that she knows this is also coming to the very end of the loop before she starts over again.
Otto just sort of frantically is like searching his brain and thinking, okay, tell him to say this. 3 rats walked into a bar.
So he starts
Oh,
with that.
Sam.
Sam, make for me an intelligence check, please.
Are we gonna hear the end of the story for the first time ever?
Sam, you actually come to realize as he's saying it, all of a sudden something clicks for you. 3 rats. Something in his story. He kills the 3 rats. They're people. Maybe rat people, whatever the case is. Who cares the details? But then he picks them up as rats and mentions them as rats. So you actually know that story has already taken place in there one way or another.
Rats won't work. Something else.
Something else.
There's already 3 rats in his vision.
There are?
Yeah, I'm positive.
A mongoose walks into a bar.
Then what?
Tell him.
All right. Grauman's reaching the part where they're asking him to tell them a story.
This is actually, so this is right before the loop starts over again. So yes, they've been asking for a while, and he's very aggressively saying no and starting to look around for a door at this point. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. Rye wants to wait until he goes back through the door again.
Absolutely goes through the door, stumbles through, tons of time is passing, and there you are with the 2 of you are feeling a bit better now because so much time has passed, but Grauman is looking a lot worse for wear. He comes stumbling back through, and he's going through it, and you want to wait for the beginning of the story. So after the rats, like immediately after the rats are slain, when the girl first starts hitting on Grauman, around there.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
And Rye sends Grauman a message. She says, "Tell her a story. A mongoose walks into a bar. The mongoose is you."
Grauman is sitting there and he hears this, and he looks over at Rye. What is Rye doing in the world that I'm in right now?
Rye in the world that you're in is standing there, and every loop before, Rye was just kind of like going along with it, having side conversation
like
with
laughing
Thonk or
something.
laughing and stuff like that. Kind of going along with it. Now Rye seems a little strange. You know what I mean? And Grauman actually notices something is different about Rye.
Something changes in the loop, and Grauman looks over at Rye and he's like, "You call me mongoose?"
And Sam, not as Rye, but as Rye within that realm, you can respond.
What are you talking about?
You call me mongoose. You tell me tell story, but I'm mongoose.
I was talking to Thunk.
Not that story! Nobody cares about that story! And he does an open hand slap upside Grauman's head. This is the large orc war chief guy.
Yeah.
And with
Grauman
that
goes
slap
back
upside
and-
Grauman's head, why don't we take a break? And we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
The last hour is upon us, everybody. We'll see you in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.